Hey y'all, Auntie's back. So today we're going to talk about something that does not get a lot of conversation. We're going to talk about being the partner of a co parent, not being the co parent, because many of us have that experience and it's widely talked about, but being the partner of someone who's co parenting, especially from a female standpoint, is what I want to talk about today. So pull up a chair, get you something to drink. Let's talk about it. All right, here. Let's get into it. When I met my husband, he had already had adult children, as did I. He also had younger children, as did I. But I came into this thing with a whole certain mindset. Now, granted, my co parenting situation was a hot mess. But because I had seen healthy co parenting, I came into this thinking, oh, birthdays together, easy exchanges, adults acting like adults. In hindsight, I will admit that I never took the time to ask or think about how they got to that point. Like, did you start off a hot mess too? I never thought about it. I just saw it, so I thought that's Eureka, how it was supposed to be, fairy tale, right? And then I would listen to Jeff talk about this big personality. This person was a TV personality at one point, long time ago. And well, I can't even say that because she had done some more recent things as well, but she started off a long time ago. So this TV personality was a big personality, and I thought, that's just for the cameras. I would listen to his stories, but I had my own background of, things my ex husband would say about me. So I know when people break up and things don't work out quite the way they expect it to, sometimes feelings get in the way of reality. So I thought, clearly he's exaggerating. There's two sides to every story. Again, she's just like that for the cameras. You're being extra. I was wrong. I learned very quickly that my co parenting situation was not the only hot mess parenting situation. Not all co parenting situations have a peaceful dynamic, and it's not all bubblegum and cotton candy. So conflict was real. Mm. And sometimes, no matter how hard you try to stay in your own lane, sometimes you get pulled into situations that you can't necessarily ignore, or you choose not to ignore. That was my story. I chose not to ignore. Some some moments I found myself in situations where I'd be like, um, is Ashton back in business? Is he am I being punked? Um, how did I get in this lady's episode? I don't even know you like that. It was it was a lot that I chose to react to. That's how I'll put it. I chose to react. Um, and to be honest with you, those days that I didn't show up as my best self, I wanted all the smoke. You hear me? All of it. I was hood TT 101. Like, bring it outside. Bring it outside. I was I did not show up as a mature, grounded adult all the time. Like sometimes, you get to pulling my kids into stuff. I was ready because when you love someone and you see them being maligned or in a bad situation, I become very protective. And I know a lot of us do. A lot of us do. And you want to fix things. You want to fix it. But I had to learn, take a step back and don't own other people's problems. Now, that's easier said than done. So that was one of my biggest mistakes, was trying to make his situation my situation. It was not, and it is not, and I can't fix it. Like, that's between you, the courts, and Jesus. I can't fix it. So that was one of my mistakes, was wanting to fix it. That's what I feel like I do. I'm a fixer. You know, you need a babysitter. I'm the babysitter. You need this done. I'll do it. I'll sew it. I'll hammer it together. So I had to learn that that's not for me to do. Another mistake was putting my emotions into this lane, like getting involved in things emotionally. Don't take it personal. Like, and I did try that. I tried to be like, well, she's mad at you, not me. She don't know me. But because my name kept getting pulled into things, then, I didn't, again, show up as my best self. And then when I got control of that, when my kids' names got pulled into things, then it was once again like, okay, you didn't push the button, you pushed the button. So I found myself, I don't even know if it was getting out of character or getting into character. Like, okay, so you want hood, I'm gonna get hood for you. That's not the mature way to be. That's not, don't do that. That's not the good thing. What I wish I knew before I got into it, what I wish I knew back then, you can't control other people's co-parenting dynamics. I couldn't even control my own. Um, you can't control it, and you're not supposed to. You're not supposed to try to control it. Um, your role isn't to fight other people's battles. Your role is to protect your own peace while supporting your partner. Like, I can support him quietly. So that's one thing I wish I knew. So what I learned. Hmm, what I learned was how to support my husband without getting pulled in. Um, his situation ended up becoming like a court situation, and there was constant court dates and lawyers and all kinds of stuff. And had stopped going to the court. Like, there were other things going on in my life, and so I stopped losing myself in his situation, and I learned how to support him by listening to my husband, doing things that he would ask me to do, not everything. I would give advice, but I would also pull back. Like, okay, so this is your situation, the ball is in your court, and I would pose questions to him. And again, I would listen, but I stopped being so emotionally involved. Um, that doesn't mean that you're not gonna get blamed for things. That doesn't mean that your name is not gonna get pulled into things. Um, that doesn't mean that the other person is gonna be fair, fight fair. Depending on the maturity of the other person, it might be all about you and not about the kids and that co-parent. I had to learn it is what it is. Protect my peace. You say what you want to say, and that's between you and whoever that falls to. It's not easy. It wasn't easy, but what are you gonna do? And again, I have my own co-parenting situation to deal with. So I had to control my emotions and I don't get me wrong, I still said what I needed to say or what I felt I needed to say. I just took my emotions out of it. So if I had to be like, "Hey, um enough is enough of me you bringing me up," then I did it. But I just didn't let it turn into more than it needed to turn into. I don't always have to have the last word. From a growth perspective, being the partner of a co-parent stretched me. Um, it it showed me parts of myself that I thought were laid to rest, and it wasn't. It's just sleep. It showed me parts of myself that you know I didn't like, and parts of myself that I did. Um, that not having to have the last word, I in my late 40s learned that sometimes you just got to let people have it. Just let them have the last word. That doesn't make them right. It I learned how to let people show themselves, be it for the good or the bad. Let them show their own hand. Let them show who they are. And you worry about yourself. That's the growth aspect that I learned is my mother used to say, um, what don't come out in the wash comes out in the rinse. And that's exactly what happened here and in my own situation. You know, um, in my own co parenting situation, there was growth. It had got to the point where we could do the easy exchanges. We can celebrate the birthday. It came to that. It hasn't come to that for my husband and his co parenting situation, but that's not my lane. So I learned to just let things go and let it be what it is. Um, so if you're in this position right now, whether you're the parent, the spouse, or somewhere in between, my advice to you is give yourself some grace because you are in a position that No one teaches you how to be in. Your situation is not like somebody else's situation. I'm also um, on the other side of it. I have my daughter has a stepmother. She's fantastic. There is no beef. There is no hurt feelings. There's no animosity. She's a great stepmother. She's a great bonus mom, great bonus grandma. That's not the situation with my spouse. It's not the situation with my ex spouse. Every situation is different. So give yourself some grace to learn who you are in this situation. Um, and again, let people be who they are and let who they are work in your favor because it will in the long run. It will. So that's it. Thanks for coming to Auntie's house and hanging out with me. I hope you got something from this. And see you next time. Okay.